2 doing the mini tubs, and I'm starting to cut out the other driver tub. This is how it comes. This is half the tub right here. This is the part that you shape around. You can see it's some thin metal, 20-ish, 22-ish gauge. Not fun to weld. Here's the other half of the tub, and you can see it comes all pre-bent with the Pittsburgh seam. Now what I'm doing is I'm cutting this to size it needs to be. I'm going to end up cutting more off this, but the length is, I'm sorry, the width is going to be the same. So in the TMZ directions, they give you some measurements. It's like 47 1/8 long. You can see my cut line here. 47 1/8 long, and I think it's, yeah, 9 1/4 width. So you got to cut that out, and then once you got, the length is going to change depending on how you do your tubs. So what I did on mine was I cut this down. So when you put this in the car, which I'm going to show you, this comes even with the bottom of the frame rail pretty much. Well, there's a big gap. I think I showed you this on the last one, that there's a big gap in between the tub and the frame. I'll try to show you on the one that's already done. I finished the passenger side. I learned a lot. I wanted to do one before I filmed it, so I had a general census on how they're done. I didn't want to make a 3-hour video of me trying to figure it out and then confusing all of you guys at the same time. So I did one, got it all in, got it all done, and I'm already doing better with the second one because now I have the general idea of how it's all supposed to work. So when you put this up in the fender well, you know, you got your hole all cut out. Frame rails here. What I did was I cut it like this, so it's even. I sat down like 1/8 of an inch from the floorboard, so you can weld it all in. And then what I did is I took my flap disc and I grinded it smooth with the floor, so it looks like it was shaped to it, not just slapped in there and added on. So we got to get this in there. It's kind of shitty. I'll probably call my wife down. It's more of like a 2-person job to do it that way. You don't have to cut it. You could stick it in there. But you'll see right here. So if that were to come down past, I mean, you got that much of a gap. You see that? So you got, you know, a pretty good sized gap. So I cut it flush, and what I'll do is I'll seam seal all in here, and then this whole wheel well is going to get undercoated. So that's why, oh shit. That's why I cut it flush. I think once it's all undercoated, it's going to look more finished. You don't have to. It absolutely does absolutely nothing for you, but I'm also going to street drive my car a lot, so I don't want any hidden little areas. The shit, rock, sand, all that shit in the roads can get stuck into, and we all know that eventually causes rot. I did that. I'm going to get this other one done and welded in the car, which I'm going to show you how to make today. I'm probably going to bring my wife down so I don't look like a freaking jackass trying to build it again. So on the first tub, I used sheet metal shears to cut this out. It worked. It's 22 gauge. It's tin. I wasn't happy with it. I had to go back around with my body hammer and my dolly and straighten them all out. All the little nicks, I had to hit them with the flap disc to get it straight. I'd rather use the cutoff wheel. So far it seems to be working a little bit easier. Messier, louder, but that is nature of the beast. So we'll just get in this cutout. See the gap? That's how much gap you would have if you just left the tub full length, which, you know, like I said, it's not going to cost anything. This is where it gets tight to the frame rail back here. Sits on the rail. But, I mean, why would you want all that, you know? Go to your Harbor Freight, get these welding triangles that hold it. Like I said before, it doesn't need to be perfect. I mean, you want a pretty decent tight fit up with everything. It'll make your welding easier and your finished product look better, but you know, you don't have to worry about the straightest, most perfect line because you're going to flap wheel most of this off. This is the hard part, getting these two pieces of metal together. I did the last one by myself. This time I'm going to hopefully call my wife down. Let's see if she's not busy to lend me a hand real quick with this, because it's a pain in the ass. Hey Google, broadcast.
What's the message?
Carrie, can you come downstairs for a minute and give me a hand? Make sure you have shoes and a sweatshirt on.
Okay, broadcasting now.
Let's see what she says. You're going to want to have body hammer, dolly, soft mallet hammer, and another good size hammer. I also used a brass drip. Right. My buddy Nate gave me a couple of these. Just a brass drip to knock stuff together. It's really nice. So when you put this together, you'll see there's a long swooping end and a real short curve. You want to start here, because if you come down, you'll never get this to fold over. So you want to start here. It'll be easier to fold over the rest. I tried to do this with that one person last time. It took me like an hour to get done, and it was absolutely ridiculous. I showed you that that's got the flat edge. Well, this has a receiver groove in it. You got to put the two together. Simple as that. My wife could never get her gloves on. Sorry, princess. It's a neat bag.
I know what it is.
So, no, I got this backwards. So we need to hold that up. You want to get the corner started and bang over the Pittsburgh seam to hold it. Now here comes the fun part. So I'm trying to spin.
Wouldn't it be easier to try to bend this a little bit curvy first?
The problem is, this will crank.
Careful, you threw it at me.
Yep. Hit it. Hold on. Hit it. In closer, in closer.
I'm sorry.
other side. There you go. One mini tub installed. You can see the whole Pittsburgh seam. I'm not done. I gotta hammer this some more. But this is the back part. So when it's welded into the car, I'll get the fucking dolly in here and I'll make this nice and fucking flat. Spent a little time on it, but you can see I got a little extra hanging off the front. I will take care of, but I'm gonna fit it now and see how well it fits. In the bottom corner, you gotta notch it like this because there's a rail when I'll show you. So you have like part of this inner rocker here that you have to cut that tub around. You don't want to cut through this. This is support right here. So something I decided to do to the tubs after the Pittsburgh seam is, where is it? I decided to spot weld them. You don't have to, it doesn't say anything about it, but I think if you spot weld this Pittsburgh seam all the way around, it'll probably bring some more rigidity to it than just it bang together. What do I know, but I think welding the seam is better. Now, you don't have to do much, you know, every 6 inches, another inch of weld. For those that don't know, that aren't the best MIG welders like me, take some of your spare tin and practice on it. This, I got lucky. I hit the setting pretty much right away. I can't find the other piece I had the other day. I probably had like 10 beads on here trying to get the heat right, but this is fairly good. You just want to spot weld this. You don't want to try to run a bead. You try to run a bead on this, you're gonna have a hard time. It's gonna blow through. It's thin, thin, thin metal. Yeah, so you just want to, I mean, you don't have to. Like I said, you don't have to. This is something I choose to do. I think it'll make it more rigid in the long run once this is all welded into the car. I mean, this seems flimsy, but once this thing's fully welded into the car, it's pretty damn strong. "10 minutes, not even, 5-6 minutes, it's all done." And it's definitely stronger all the way around now, in my opinion. So I saved you guys the boring part of stitch welding this whole tub in. Takes a little while to stitch weld it in. You got to get that thing fit perfect, and somehow it always isn't perfect anymore. But I stitch welded the whole tub in. It's all set. I mean, some of the welds are, some of them are great. It's really hard in all the positions with this thin of a metal to get perfect welds all around. And I'm not a great welder, so, but it's in. She's in there strong. So now I got to prime it all, and then I will seam seal it all. I got some good 3M seam sealer. What else? And then I gotta go get some undercoating to do the wheel inner of the wheel wells. I don't know what I'm gonna do for in here. I might paint it. I might go get a quart of paint mixed up and paint in here. I don't know yet. So you guys want to get a good coat of primer on all of this before you seam seal it to make sure it's all good to go.
That's awful.
Stop your complaining.
There's a package on the front porch for you.
Is there really?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I'm assuming
big one?
it's for you. It's tall and skinny.
That's probably my rear coilover kit.
Your mom gave you this.
Yes.
I forgot to bring her gift to her. Awful, I know.
Just bring it upstairs with you.
You want to know what else I got? I love you. And I'm the best wife in the whole world.
I'm glad that was on camera. Tubs are done.
Tubs are done?
Yep.
Which one did I do?
This one.
Look how good I did. I'm just saying, this one looks better than that one.
Fuck you.
It does.
Woo! We got parts. I think this is my rear coilover install kit. Yep, from Team Z. I ordered my Team Z through Matt at Garage Built Racing. I sent him a message. Give me a price on this, please, Matt. 30 seconds later, I have a price. 2 minutes later, everything's ordered. Yep. And 3 days later, it shows up to my house. How can you beat that? Some companies out there. Well, so this is nice from Team Z. Ooh, more Team Z stickers. This coilover bar. This is to move your coilovers inboard. It's nice. Comes with all grade A hardware, some spacers. Everything's already fully welded. So this is nice because it's already pre-measured, pre-cut, pre-welded, everything. You literally slide this up in between your frame rails, get all your measurements, tack it in, it's done. How much fucking easier is that? A lot of Team Z stuff's nice like that. I'll be getting their anti-roll bar as well because it's pretty much the same way. Fucking already all done. This is nice. Chromoly, nice and light. It comes with the brackets to weld to the rear. Just weld these bad boys right to the rear end. We'll make another video of getting the rear end centered in the bay. I got to do a couple things to the housing first. I got to cut the lower control arm brackets off. I'm going to put either Tin Soldiers or TRZ lower control arm brackets in, but I'm going to move them in 1.5 inches so I don't have to get offset lower control arms. I'm going to just get UPR double adjustable Pro Race, I think they're called. And then I'll get the Team Z 8.8 brace kit. And when I get the brace kit and the control arm brackets in, I'm probably going to bring it to my buddy John and have him weld it because he's got the jig fixture to hold the rear end. Alright, so the mini tubs are done. Like I showed you, I just got to finish a little bit of seam sealer, undercoat in the fender wells, and that's it. They're done, 100%. No, I lied. I got to tack weld that trunk bracket, trunk hinge bracket to the tub. The nice thing about it is, I know I'm not going to show it all the way because I don't want to get the keys, but the trunk shuts. The hinges don't hit, nothing. It shuts perfect, which is actually a really nice feature because I was afraid that those were going to hit and I was going to have to take the smash rivet out. I'm going to have to shorten them and blah, 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 and be a whole lot more work. They fit perfect. I hope I went through everything. I hope you learned from some of my mistakes, like don't cut the tub length until you have it together. It'll probably help to have it together first. The Pittsburgh seam is what I'm talking about. Yeah, other than that, it's a pain in the ass with the welder. You got to be really good at thin metal. I suck at it, but you know, I blew through in a lot of places, but I cleaned it up. I went over the weld again, and I seam seal it, so you're not even gonna you're not gonna see it at all, actually. But you know, it's just nicer to have a perfect weld. That's it for the mini tub install. If you have any questions, you could ask me on the video, or you can ask me on my Instagram at Racestatus. We'll get this one edited up, get it out, and then the next one will be the start of the coilover bar, Team Z coilover bar setup. I'm going to get my rear end in here. The rear end's only a housing right now, but I got to get it in so I can get, you know, where the coilover bar, coilover mounts go, where what I just showed you go. I also got to get the control arm brackets where they got to go. Anti-roll bar, I gotta order that, and then I'll show you guys how to get it all centered in the bay, centered in the wheel well, and get it all set up. So we'll go from there. Like usual, thanks for watching. Like the video, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at Racestatus, and have a good night, guys.